Hello, Radiant One, and a very big and a very warm welcome to Mastery, the show and podcast for brilliant spiritual beings just like you, having a human experience and wanting to lead with love in work, business, and life. Here we merge the worlds of seen and unseen, magic and miracles with the mundane and the practical, spirituality with strategy, the energetic with the physical, and business, work, and life with a whole lot of love and soul. I'm your host, spiritual business coach, energy worker, and radical love rebel, Maria Saraphina. And it is my deep honor, my great pleasure, and joy to share this episode, this podcast, and this world with you. Hello, Radiant One, and a very big and a very warm welcome to this video episode where I'm going to be talking about something that actually, it's very, very mundane, but I absolutely love it because it's also very, or can be very magical. You may see me looking at my notes because I really want to make sure that I include all of the things that I've had about this, because it's a topic. So whenever, the way that I work is I work holistically, as a spiritual business coach, and I always, use, what is seemingly very mundane or even strategic or automated as something that is a portal for deep personal transformation potentially. And when it comes to testimonials, which is what we're going to be talking about today, or I'm going to be sharing about today, that is like, it's one of those areas that when I work with my clients with it, it's so interesting to see that they like, ooh, but more about that in a second. If you don't know me, my name is Maria Serafina. I am a spiritual business coach, energy worker, and radical love rebel. I serve experienced or established business owners and experienced leaders across the globe with strategy, with an intuitive wisdom, with energy work, where we do a holistic combination of everything. Enough about me. So in this video, in this episode, what I'm going to be sharing with you is like testimonials. Again, the powerful portals for deep transformation that they are, but also hopefully encourage you to get going. If you're not someone who has an automated process in place, I really want to encourage you to get that done ASAP for like the obvious reasons. So this is really both, like, we're going to look at it from a professional perspective, but as well as also from a personal perspective. And actually the automation of it, the quote unquote, the mundane pieces of gathering testimonials, to me is actually the least interesting part, because for me, I love how, again, how those things that are seemingly mundane and can be strategic or very like basic day-to-day things can be powerful transformations for us. So usually when I ask a business owner about their testimonial process, a lot of them will be like, they'll start to, like, their faces will contort and like they start to shift in their seats, and they look like they're getting really uncomfortable, because they know, that is something that you quote unquote should be doing, or that you could be doing in a better way, but you also like are being held back. Usually what I hear is that, I know, but I don't have time, or I don't know what things to use, or when really, like, what it's all about is fear, and more fear. And if I'm if I'm looking giddy and joyful when I talk about fear, it's because, again, that when we illuminate fear that is hidden within us, there is such an opportunity for joy and for satisfaction as we move through that process of getting these things in place, as we use it to see what are the shadows, what are the limiting beliefs, what are the core values that are hiding in ourselves, that we can then shift and change both energetically as well as like externally, and then getting this into place and start to experiencing what comes with it. So my personal story with testimonials is actually one where I was really struggling with whenever clients would be sharing good things about me, because for me, I don't know if it's a limiting belief or But one of my things was, it's never about me. It's never about it. It's about the work that we do together and the shift and the changes that my client has. But it wasn't until a client, this is years ago, a client of mine, an OG client of mine, had heard me say this a couple of times, that she like sort of held on to me and said, yes, I understand that this is about me. And yes, I understand that this is about the work that I have, or my work. But she said, but you have to understand that without you by my side, I would not have been able to do it the way that I have done that. And when she said that, it was sort of jolted me in the way that I had to understand, I had to own my power. I had to own and acknowledge that who I am in this lifetime, spiritual being, having a human experience with all of my experiences, my wisdom, my knowledge, my training, all that, in that combination was what unlocked and amplified and elevated her further. And so we often tend to think that, or maybe you're the same as me, where you're like, oh, it's not about me. But there's a part of you, like for me at least, that was keeping me small. That was keeping me safe. That was keeping me hidden. And when she told me that, I was like, oh, there's something here for me to own. So I really want to encourage you, if that's where you're at, like tune into it and see what is it that's coming. Is it really self-sabotage that you're doing by not getting an automated process in place when it comes to testimonial? And I will be going into what you can do later on in this episode or video. So just know that. And like I said, so it's fear. For me, it was fear, like it was a fear of, it was not about me, but it was, I suppose there's also a part that's rejection. That's one of the things that I hear is like, oh my God, what are people going to say? So there's that. And that to me is like, again, that's where the deep inner, that's where the true inner work begins, when our fears are highlighted and we are able to shift them and move into a deeper, satisfying place that then not only serves you, but also serve your client, because they often want to share the transformation that they have had through either buying your product or your service. So, while there is that piece of deep inner transformation, I also want you to make the process of gathering testimonials a completely automated, no-brainer part of it. Now, there's different tools and things that you can use. I'm going to go into them in just a moment. But you can, the more you can take out your quote unquote feelings and emotions out of it, the more people, the more transformation, the more healing your medicine will actually bring to the world. Because the more people who share that, the more people who can recognize themselves in what your clients and your customers are sharing, the I don't want to say the better our world becomes, because the more people you can actually reach with this. There's a piece of testimonials that's also, and that's not very often talked about, and that is, I like to also keep them for the dark days. As a business owner or experienced leader, there are going to be dark days. It's not like that is the cycle of life. It is like we have the light and we have the dark. We have the highs and we have the lows. And testimonials are actually also brilliant tools for those days where you just think that nobody likes you, nobody wants what you've got, nobody cares, yada, yada, yada. You can go back and you can go through the testimonials and start to see, oh, like I am actually creating, me being who I am in truth is actually creating a change in the world. It's supporting people. It's supporting my customers as well. And I don't care if it is something as mundane as coffee. I was sharing this with a friend who has a roastery, that I had gotten up, I had, grinded the beans, I had sat down with my coffee, and I felt the warmth of that coffee just flow through me. And I was like, I just felt that moment of gratitude and love and joy as I was drinking that first cup of coffee in the morning. And I realized that this is the experience that probably thousands of people across the country has when they're buying this brand of coffee. And so it can be, you may think that your product is mundane or your service is mundane, but what it brings to people you may never, quote unquote, see or experience. There's a beautiful quote from A Course in Miracles that that shares about how you'll never know the impact, the true impact of your energy and your energy that your person have. Okay, so I wanted to get this quote right, so I went ahead and I pulled out my A Course in Miracles, one of the copies that I have, and I'm reading this from the Principles of Miracles. It's principle number 45. It says, "A miracle is never lost. It may touch many people you have not even met and produce undreamed of changes in situations of which you are not even aware." And to me, that is the crux of what it means to have a business as a spiritual, loving, kind, caring, business owner in this world. And it is also recognizing. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I got the quote right, so I went ahead and I got my Course in Miracles, Our Course in Miracles out, one of the copies that I have, and I wanted to read you the quote that it reads from the Principles of Miracles. It's in the very beginning, and it's principle number 45, and it reads, "A miracle is never lost. It may touch many people you have not even met and produced undreamed of changes in situations of which you are not even aware." And that to me is just because oftentimes as a business owner, whether you're selling a service or a product, you may hear from people if they dislike, like with the algorithms on social media, you'll hear from people when they dislike something, but rarely will you hear from people when they actually love what you're doing. And so gathering those testimonials will not only elevate you, but the medicine that you can share in the world. And if you need this for the dark days, then that is absolutely beautiful. I had one time, if you're on my newsletter, I had one time where I'd asked people or told people, like, if you have something that you're currently facing that you're challenged by, hit reply, let me hear about it, and I will share with you my intuitive wisdom and what comes up for me as I share that, or as I read what you're sharing. And I had this one person from the other side of the world who reached out and had shared something. And I replied back and I shared what was coming out for me. I shared some suggestions in terms of what she was facing. And then, went about my day and didn't think anything further of it. And about a year and a half later, never heard back from them. About a year and a half later, I got an email in my inbox as a reply to my reply to them. And she shared with me that she just wanted to let me know that she had kept my email in her inbox sitting there because she was going through everything that I'd shared. She was moving through it. She was creating, she was building, she was expanding and growing and all these things. And the words that I shared had supported her through all of that with just that. And she could have never gotten back to me, and I would have never, ever known that that was the impact that my share had on her. But she did. And for me, it speaks volumes, because I know that for you, for me, for those of us that are sharing our medicine in the world, there are so many times that we, quote unquote, don't hear back from people. And I make it a thing to actually tell people when they have an impact on me. It might take me some time. It's not about rushing into it and just sharing. I have someone who's sitting in my inbox where they've asked me some questions, and I want to get back to them, but I also want to feel into what's coming up for me, and I want to see the experience and the transformation in the world that their work has done for me. So I want to share from that place. So to just know that your work, whether it's as a business owner or as an experienced leader, like, it's making an impact, and you may never know the undreamed of changes that it will create for other people. So that's part of why you gotta gather those testimonials, but more importantly, you gotta share your medicine with the world. So like I said, your product might be mundane. It might also be that you're in, for me, like spiritual business coaching, I see what happens when I work with people. So in terms of the automation of the process, like I said, it's for the dark days as well. I shared with an experienced leader who was like, yeah, because I'd seen that they posted or shared something on LinkedIn, and I messaged them to say, hey, I hope you're screenshotting this for when you were either ready to transition out of your current job into something new, or just for the dark days. And he's like, why would I do that? And he's like, oh, then he realized, yes, you're absolutely right. And he did actually have a folder for those dark days. So that is beautiful. So keep those as well for that. So, when it comes to gathering testimonials, like I said, there's a gazillion way of doing it. And someone will tell you, like, this is the one way. There's only one way to gather this. And I'm like, I am so, hopefully you are too, over the whole, like, there's just a cookie cutter model and one way of doing this. So what I recommend is play with it. Be like, move into a state of, I am trying to, like, it doesn't have to get all serious and fixed. If you're called to try something, try it and see, like, how does this work for me? How does it not work for me? And then move on to something else. If what you've chosen doesn't work for you, or it doesn't work for the people that you're providing a service or a product to, tweak it, test it, and then change it. Like, move, let it flow is what I'm trying to say. Don't just think that you have to pick one and stick with it. Of course, like, there's a trial error, like, use it for 90 days and see how it works for you. But if it immediately doesn't seem right or doesn't resonate with you, you are the one that knows. You're the owner of your business. You're the leader that knows this is what works for me or not. And that's a very powerful thing to have. Be able to tune in and be like, does this seem right to me? Yes or no? And it might take a little time for you to be in that process. So just allow yourself that space. And again, like I said, play with it. Play with it. So I'm going to go through a couple of ways that you can gather testimonials, and then tune in and see, like, does this one seem right for me or not? So the first one is, of course, video testimonials. We like to see people. Some people don't want to be on camera, which is totally fine. What you can do when it comes to video testimonials is you can ask people just to shoot it straight on their phone. Either like horizontal or like whatever you want to do, like ask them to shoot it straight on their phone and just talk from their heart. That's one way. You can also, like, if you Google gather video testimonials, there's like a gazillion options that come up for you, and you can pick one that, vibes with you. That's one. Then there is forms. You can use, there's a bazillion different online forums that you can use, or you can have one that are on your website itself. And I want to say, like, the deeper the connection and the longer the relationship has been, the more questions you can ask. I'm known for my wordiness when it comes to, and you can see this if you go to mariasarafina.com/client love, you'll see that I ask my questions, but I also usually see people over like a 12 to 18, even longer. Some clients have been with me on and off for more than a decade. So I can ask them deeper questions or more questions, and they're more willing to ask. If you're like simply, quote unquote, providing coffee, you may not want to ask them a gazillion questions about what happened before, during, and after, and yada, yada. It's just a simple, how many stars would you give this? Like, so tailor it to that, tailor it to the people. The questions themselves, what you want to emphasize is where were they at? Like, where were your client at before they bought or your service or signed up for your service or your product? That's number one. The second one is what did they experience during the use of your service? Like, so were they, like, if it's coaching like mine, did they feel supported and uplifted? Like, many of my clients speak about how when we're in long-term collaboration, they're able to reach out to me between sessions via either Telegram or WhatsApp, and they enjoy that they're able to just, like, if they have a quick question, that they can just shoot it off and get a reply, so that they don't have to go into a full session with me for one small thing. So that's something that my clients tell me that they experience. Another thing that my clients often share with me is that they really enjoy that I send them detailed notes after each session. It's not something that I necessarily quote unquote enjoy, but because my clients are often sharing like this is just gold for them, that's something that I do for them. So that's about during, and also of course then there's the whole personal transformation, how they're actually applying the what we do in session or when they bought your product. And finally, the third question you want to ask is about the phase after. Like, what is the biggest takeaway that they have what have they taken away from it? And also, how are they using what they've learned now? How is that making their lives or their work or their businesses different? So those are like the three phases of questions you want to ask, and you can sort of tailor questions around that. And then finally, you can just straight up email your questions to people. You can ask them to just, email. What I have done often, what I'm also offering my clients is that you can also voice note it. Because for some people, I'm someone who loves voice notes. So if you like, I have clients who like just to voice note. So I have clients who voice note me that, and then I just transcribe it after, which is fine, fine by me. The most important thing when it comes to testimonials is remember to get permission to share them. So however you are asking to gather testimonials, make sure that you actually get permission, A, to share it publicly with the world, B, that whether or not people want it to be anonymous. Some people prefer to be anonymous. Some prefer like to just have their first name used. Other people don't care. They just they go with full name, title, images, like get a photo of them if you can. So there's that. Something else that is really powerful in terms of gathering testimonials is that they can also be a beautiful ground for new products or new services. What you can do if it's a longer form testimonial, you can ask people what are products or services that you would like to see from our side or from my side. That's one. But even just them sharing about your service or your product, there can be things that appear where you're like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Or maybe we should, do if it's a product thing that you're doing, it might be that, oh, it sounds like they were missing this piece. Maybe I can do better in promoting this or sharing about this service or this product. Maybe I can bundle up some things that would be a better package for people. Maybe there's an add-on product or an add-on service that you then see that would be valuable for the client or for the customer. So again, testimonials, even though, like I said, for me originally the fear was like having to own my own power, is as much about them and with the service that you can provide or the product you can provide to them as it is about you. So that's something also to keep in mind. When it comes to automation, and what I mean by automation is like I want you to have it as a process that is a no-brainer, whether it's in your it's just in your email signature, or whether it is at a certain point in your process, whether it is when a client's been with you for X amount of months, there's an automated email that goes out, hey, by the way, could you share a testimonial? And that is where we would have to be in session in order for me to give you a better idea of where I would put that in your process yourself. If you're a leader who's often doing talks and stuff, I would absolutely have either a QR code or a link to somewhere where they can go easily, and I would include it in the final stages of your speech or your talk. It's like, hey, if you enjoyed this, please go share your thoughts here, and know that may appear in my marketing and promotion. So that's something that you can do. If it's a product service, if it's a product that you're selling, of course, have it be part of your automated emails that goes out once the client has received the product. Hey, can you share what you enjoy, whether you enjoyed this or not, how you enjoyed this or not, all of that. And that's what I have for you in terms of testimonials and how they can be both mundane and magical and deep, powerful portals for transformation. I would love to hear from you. So in the comments or on the blog, jump on over there and share do you currently have an automated process in place? If you don't, what's keeping you? And if you do, please go ahead and share it. And also, if you want to share how that was for you getting that implemented, that would be so lovely, because that way we can all be inspired by it. That is what I had to share with you in this video or episode. I am sending you so much love wherever in the world you might be. Lots of love. Bye. That is what I had for you in today's episode of Mastery with Maria Saraphina. I hope it served you well. For all the deeds and details, click the link in the description and help me spread the love of this transmission by sharing it with a friend or on social media, or leave me a comment or review. Have a wonderful day. God bless.